Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is premiering very soon in theaters. I'm very excited. I have my tickets, and I'm sure many of you guys do as well, as the brand new MCU movie, but it's also going to be directed by Sam Raimi, the guy who gave us the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 10 movies and shows you should watch to prepare for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Again, these are just my top 10. Some of you guys might disagree. Some of you guys might think there's some other films that you guys should dive into first. So make sure to comment down below your guys' thoughts, as well as hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this over here on a daily basis. Coming down at my number one, the first thing that you should absolutely watch is WandaVision. Now you might be going like, Zach, hasn't everyone watched WandaVision? No, they have not. I actually have tons of friends who I've talked to over the last couple of days who have asked me, why is Wanda so evil in this trailer? And I go, have you watched WandaVision? And they tell me no. WandaVision very much establishes and kind of is a prologue to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, giving in and detailing what has been going on with Wanda since the end of Endgame, and very much being the sequel to WandaVision as well as the previous Spider-Man film, and even the last Doctor Strange movie. There's going to be a lot of shit going down in this movie, and if you haven't watched WandaVision, you absolutely should. It's a grand and great show, a really good binge as well, but it really much dives into Wanda and her psyche, especially at the very end of that, and seeing where she is now heading into Doctor Strange. Coming in at my number two is actually going to be What If. Now, Marvel Studios' What If is very much an anthology show detailing different areas inside the multiverse, which is where we're going in Doctor Strange. But I actually believe that some of these characters that we saw in What If will appear in this movie, which is why I think overall you should probably watch the entirety of What If. I've always said that all these Marvel shows, while maybe you don't need to see them, the more you put in, the more you're gonna get out of these movies. And for me, What If is a pretty fascinating and fun show. Maybe not one of the greatest things that Marvel has ever created, but in particular, there are two episodes that I very much heavily recommend that you watch. Episode 1, titled Captain Carter. What if Peggy Carter became Captain America? I still believe she will be in this movie, and I say that because we see her shield on the poster, and we're apparently getting a bunch of different variants, so what other great cameo would be in there is her within that awesome Captain Carter suit, as well as episode 4, which is the Doctor Strange one, What If Doctor Strange Lost His Heart Instead of His Hands? A very important episode that I actually think we will be seeing that variant version of Doctor Strange. If not, we have already seen him in the trailer. Two very important ones, but I also think if you just want to understand more of the concept of the multiverse, this is a great show to start with. Yes, it's animated, but who cares? At my number 3 now, we have Loki. Now, I actually don't think Loki, Sylvie, or any of the other characters in here will make an appearance in Doctor Strange, maybe in a small cameo, but I do think that Doctor Strange may affect Loki, because Loki deals with the time variance, but also what it deals with is a variance in itself, something we learned in What If, and is also something that we learned in Spider-Man No Way Home, are variants. There are different versions of the heroes that we know and love, and I think this is what we will heavily see in Doctor Strange. So if you're one of the more general going audiences and you're kind of confused, well, why is there multiple different versions of Doctor Strange? Why are there multiple versions of these characters? This is specifically a show that you should really dive into, plus Loki is fascinating. Now, heading into my number 5, we have Endgame and Infinity War, a great duo and a great movie marathon in its own. Now, this is one of the last times that we did see Doctor Strange, and I certainly think that some of the effects from Endgame will very much rupture into this. Now, in general, I'm sure many of you guys have already seen these movies, but this is just something I had to put out there. Also, of course, leading into my number 6 is Spider-Man No Way Home, the last film in this multiverse saga that Kevin Feige has given us. We got WandaVision, we got Spider-Man, and now we have Doctor Strange. And I honestly think that a lot of the spells that maybe Doctor Strange had cast in the last Spider-Man movie will trickle into this issue of what is going on and why the multiverse is imploding. Spider-Man No Way Home is an excellent movie. I'm sure many of you guys have already seen it, and Doctor Strange was in that movie to a certain capacity, so again, you should definitely check it out. Really much the last MCU film that I really much heavily recommend that you see is the original Doctor Strange. Maybe you have not seen this yet. Maybe your first experience was in Avengers Infinity War, but I do believe that that Doctor Strange in that first film is very unique to its entire sorcery and the magic and understanding a little bit more of that entire world. It does a great job at setting it up, and a lot of you people might be wondering and worried why Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is only 2 hours and 6 minutes. Don't worry, the first Doctor Strange was pretty short and it gave us a lot of greatness in it. Leading up now, one of the things that I do want to emphasize is these next few are not MCU movies, but some might be relating to Sam Raimi and others might be relating to other Marvel films. And coming up next, obviously we heard his voice in the trailer, Patrick Stewart's X-Men. You can really much watch any of the X-Men movies. I personally would recommend either the first 2 original X-Men movies or in general Logan to kind of get a feel to who Patrick Stewart is. If you want a big grand marathon, feel free to do all the original ones with Patrick Stewart in them, but definitely watch these if you haven't yet. That way you're not a little bit confused. Why is he back? Why is he here? I think this is just a variant version, but I think it's going to be pretty cool. Of course, up next, we have Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Now, I don't think Tobey Maguire will be showing up in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Would be pretty cool, but I think for people that have never experienced a Sam Raimi movie before, or even in general a Sam Raimi superhero movie, this is one to check out and kind of get a feel for what it is. Again, I'm sure many of you guys have already seen Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies, but I think it would be a great kind of rewatch to go back and really much infuse yourself into what Sam Raimi had given us. Of course, rounding out the top 10 is Drag Me to Hell, or honestly, in general, I could even reference The Evil Dead. Now, The Evil Dead is personally my favorite horror franchise. It's what Sam Raimi really much came up in his career, but his last actual horror film that he created was Drag Me to Hell, which is a movie that I actually think is pretty hilarious, but does have some horrific moments, and it is a PG-13 movie. So for people freaked out that this isn't an R-rated movie, I do think you should check out Drag Me to Hell and see what Sam Raimi was able to give in there, because yes, of course, The Evil Dead is R-rated, but Drag Me to Hell is PG-13, and I think it does have some good scares in it, and it is a lot of fun. Guys, that's gonna be my top 10 movies that you should absolutely check out before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There are quite a few comics that I would also recommend as well, and I'll probably be doing a TikTok and an Instagram reel on that, so make sure to go follow me on my social media so you are caught up to date on all the other sorts of fun content that I provide over on those other channels. As well, if you want to just keep talking movies, hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking it over here. And of course, until next time, look out for a lot of Doctor Strange content coming up next week. My review will be hitting up next Tuesday. Yes, I'm seeing it early. Very excited. Non-spoilers, of course. So, thank you so much again, and until next time, stay classy.